Now, in the past week, we got to look at some of the plans for Classic WoW in 2024. And with it seeming that the Classic team is getting a real shift on, with releasing Cataclysm and Cata patches in pretty fast fashion, it's time to once again beg the question of how far does Classic WoW go, in terms of expansion releases before Cata is even out. And one idea that a certain demographic has begged for is Wrath Era servers. Much like vanilla servers, providing us with a long-term server, simply remaining static in Wrath of the Lich King as an expansion. And it's an interesting idea, to be fair, as we've certainly had shouts for Burning Crusade era servers, but the request for Wrath servers feels slightly larger, and with the conjecture remaining largely with the idea that Wrath marks the end of Classic WoW, could make sense in some capacity for there to be these Wrath era servers. However, we are certainly heading into Cataclysm, whether you like it or not, and alongside Season of Discovery and the final patch of Dragonflight, slowly emerging into the World Soul Saga. On some level, I'm not really sure that we do need these Wrath servers at the moment. Now, for a note, I love Wrath of the Lich King, as I am a true Wrath baby, and I started playing WoW just when Wrath came out, so the majority of my fond memories lie in Wrath on its original release, as well as a lot of great memories in Classic Burning Crusade and Classic Wrath. But I can't help thinking that these era servers that then need maintaining could detract away from current Classic WoW resources that truthfully would be better spent on Season of Discovery and, dare I say it, Classic Cata for the next year at a minimum. And there's also a downside to the community harmony that has been built up somehow for that group of people that have been requesting Burning Crusade servers for a long time. I suppose the main argument might be that Wrath servers pull in a bigger crowd than BC, but I don't know if that's actually particularly true or even a fair decision at that. So whilst I'd love to have the option of Wrath era servers someday, the way I see it is that currently for Blizzard and specifically the Classic WoW team, Season of Discovery should be their main focus, as well as making sure Cata comes out smoothly, but who cares, as the player base will already be split between Season of Discovery and maybe a lot of the retail content that is building up the wall within. And I don't really see adding another ball to juggle and potentially split away from their new products as a good thing at this current stage. Yeah, one can't deny there just always seems to be this large demand for Wrath, in a similar way to vanilla, due to the vast amount of, let's call them, fan servers that have existed throughout the years ever since Cata's original release in 2010. So potentially in a year or so when Cata is wrapped up, I'll be far to Deathwing out of the sky with a giant dinner plate. I think maybe setting up either cyclical servers that go through BC and Wrath content in maybe 12 to 18 months that then resets, or just permanent BC and Wrath servers being set up is ultimately a good idea in some capacity. As although Mists of Pandaria is a great expansion, to me it's way past the point of Classic WoW, and I do see the majority of the player base being more likely to prefer to revisit Burning Crusade or Wrath once again in some fashion. Yet we'll simply have to see. I think there's a clear pull for BC and Wrath, as both their classic releases brought a lot of old players back and saw the introduction of new fantastically different takes on the classic genre, such as Season of Discovery being birthed out. Therefore, I'd guess it's fair to assume that we will see fresh servers for both these expansions again at some point. And to be fair, I'd definitely jump into them again when the time is right, to travel through the Dark Portal or into the icy tundras of Northrend once again. And who knows, maybe we'll see some of this stuff integrated into a classic plus type system that takes the best bits of vanilla, Season of Discovery, Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. But I think that's a whole other video for a very, very different time. So for now, myself and a lot of other players are satisfied with Season of Discovery and what's to come in that, and Amir Drasil as the new raid in retail, as well as having an interesting revisiting Cataclysm for a short while. And I mean, a very short while. And ultimately, I'd rather Blizzard put both their classic and retail team just to focus on Season of Discovery, Cataclysm, and the War Within for the upcoming year. Yeah, as I said, I'm still sure we will see Wrath and BC once again when the time is right, indeed. But do let me know what you think. Will we see Wrath or BC again, and if so, when? Or do you want it right now? As always, if you're new here, feel free to like and subscribe. And on that note, I think I'll say ta-ra for now, and I'll see you later.